Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kunal. Please have your seat.
Thank you.
Can you please pass that folder to me? Thank you.
Okay, Kunal. So let's start with your travel experience. Did you travel to come to here?
Yes, ma'am.
So how was your experience?
It was kind of an exciting yet nervous experience as I boarded a flight from Indore and came here to Delhi. I was again a mixed emotions all the way, and as I was waiting outside, was really thinking about what they're gonna ask me. I was thinking how it's gonna go, but I can't control it. I can just come here and give my best.
Okay. So you're from Indore then? Okay. So how did you like that city? Were you born and brought up there, or you're currently living there but born and brought up? Native place is different.
No, ma'am. I was born and brought up in Indore.
Okay, so long experience in that particular city. I really don't know anything about that. Would you like to brief upon that?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, Indore, as it is the seventh time cleanest city of India, and that is because we segregate our waste into 6 categories. That is dry waste, electronic waste, wet waste, hazardous waste, domestic waste, and e-waste. And apart from this, Indore is also known for having an IIT and an IIM, both in one city. The first city to have an IIT and an IIM. Now there's Jammu and Mumbai. Apart from this, Indore was called Little Mumbai back when there was a lot of textile industry business in 1990s and 2000s. Apart from this, Indore is known for its food. Matlab, we have a population that is actually really hungry, and if anybody says that let's explore Indore, then it's like what else can we eat in Indore? That is more like exploring Indore.
Okay. And apart from that, any historical importance?
Yes, ma'am. Indore was under the rule of Marathas, which was led by Devi Ahilyabai Holkar, and she was a really big worshipper of Shivji. And Indore, actually, the Indore name is based upon an temple of Shivji that was named Indreshwar. On that, Indore is named.
All right.
What do you do there in Indore?
Sir, in Indore, currently I'm working in an MRO firm that as a business development associate. Like we work in maintenance, repair, and operations, where my current job role is to find new leads, how I can identify potential clients. So for this, I leverage a sales funnel using 3 main components, MAN components as we have acronymed it. It's money, access, and need. Who is in charge of the money? First, we approach them, and what is their who can we access on if we have any doubts, if we want to present our products to them, and what are their needs. As for finding what are the needs, we need to connect on an operational level as well, and not just at a management level.
Can you play a role play, a little role play? Assuming me, myself and sir to be customers, and you become the representative. Explain any of your products.
Yes, ma'am. First, a product that is our main seller is a rust preventive oil. As in factories or industries, rust can be very easily founded or can be is a big factor because of which losses happen. So we have a product that is RP600 that is beating all other products in names in terms of efficiency, and it actually dials down your operational costs. Like if you are needing 10 drums of that oil, you're going to need only 6 drums and you're going to save on it. So it really dials down your operational cost and overall efficiency.
Okay. And since I can see you are an engineer, then you shifted to business development executive. Why so?
Sir, as I was an engineer, I was recruited here at Tirupati Technicum, where I worked as I explained, a business development associate. Here, as I was involved in strategic marketing and product positioning, I really got to know about how crucial management skills are. So, in sales and operations and at every other level, we need to have that clarity and that refined approach to things. That is why, sir, I'm opting for an MBA.
No, my question was why did you shifted from technical background to business development associate? This was my actual question.
Because as during engineering, I was till second year I was really into coding and everything, but I found it a bit static for me because I like a job that is more on the sales front. I like to be on the front end of things. That is why, sir.
Okay, so what was your favorite subject in engineering?
So my favorite subject was software development as of then
Okay,
C.
which semester?
So sixth semester.
Sixth semester software development. What all chapters have you read under that subject? Can you tell me any one topic and explain it to me?
Sir, one topic that I can tell you about is a software development life cycle. As the processes, the stages a software goes through. Like first, you have to arrange and assemble an SRS, that is a software requirement specification folder, where you discuss about all the requirements that are going to be there, the client, what is the client asking in a software, and how you are going to approach it, and the resources that are needed. First, you have to plan, you have to organize, you have to design, then you test. And if there is a bug, then it goes to test, that is again we retest, and then we launch a beta version. And if it is deployable, then we deploy it.
What all books have you referred in this subject? As I can see, you got 9 credit points in this. So, what was the author name?
So right now I actually can't remember because I mostly refer to YouTube videos and whatever our professor taught.
So, none of the physical material you have used for preparing this topic or subject.
I think that of course the professors, what professors teach us, they teach us from the book and it is very crucial. But I think that people and humans, they learn more from visual content. That's why sir I opted for YouTube, as there are many examples and I can comprehend better.
But then what's the use? You're not able to recall even a single one. At least people who read from book, they remember things for their lifetime, or at least the main points. So what do you think? It is actually deteriorating the level of education, or is it really helpful for the students?
It's not actually deteriorating. It is helpful, of course. Those are books, but
It's helpful
those are,
in getting good marks. But what about the knowledge?
of course, it imparts knowledge because it gives you a very elaborative, descriptive, what can I say, a resource which you can refer to. But if you have to plan something or read for something that you have to get done quickly, then you may refer to YouTube as well.
Okay.
Books are going to be crucial all the way.
Hey, you have mentioned about EWB in your resume during your college days. Who all were group members? What all exercises you have done with this organization?
Sir, first of all, EWB stands for Engineers Without Borders, which is an international organization which works for the betterment of the underprivileged and bringing a societal change. And as ours was a student chapter, first I was a member of the club where I worked with, if we are organizing different drives, like I organized a cloth collection drive, we organized a radium dog collar drive so that the animals don't get into the accidents. And apart from this, we also teach.
It's that radium.
Radium dog
band.
colored, yeah.
Okay.
And also, as there's a story that when the pandemic struck, sorry, we were faced with a challenge that as we used to go and teach the blind children in person, but we weren't able to do that, and because of this, a harm was done on their education process. So we brainstormed, with exhaustive brainstorming, we came to a solution where we thought about recording the audio of the curriculum chapters for them and uploading it on a YouTube channel. And with permission of the authorities of school, we went ahead with it, and it was it was a big success. And we then contacted other schools as well. That there is a national association for the blind as well, and we taught at Helen Keller Blind School. So these both schools really benefited from it, and because as it was a group idea, but as I led it, it led to me being elected the president of the club, which was a big achievement.
So, do you plan to continue working for the society as an NGO, or maybe a community contributor, or are you really serious about getting into business and profit earning?
Business and profit earning is on one side, but helping others in an NGO, and I was always committed to that as well. That is the reason why I went ahead in that club. As there were other clubs, there was ECEL and every other club, but students were really interested in coming to EWB, because if you are working half-heartedly
Do
somewhere.
you have any idea about corporate social responsibility?
Yes, I have read about it,
Okay.
where you have to, as I can see, I have read about it as not about the corporates, but how the B schools have internships, social internships, where they launch a week-year program. They are associated with an NGO where they go and help others.
Okay.
And one final thing from my side. Since you mentioned that you were a member of the club and then you were elected as the president, but can you nominate anyone else from the team who could have been the president if you were not there? Any few good members of the club you were part of? Can you name at least 3 of them?
Yes, sure.
Those who contributed as you have contributed towards the club.
There were other group leaders as well, as I was a group lead and I was elected. One was Abhishek Uiki. He was the regional head of Bhopal, where we conducted the cloth collection drive. Another was Muskan, and the third one was Stuti. She was the vice president when I was the president, and all of these three are really good candidates.
Okay. And have you received the HR call as well?
No, sir, I have not received that.
Okay, but if given a chance, then would you have opted for it?
Sir, it would be a really fortunate situation if I would have gotten the call and converted both of them. But as of right now, I think it would be I would cross that bridge when I come to it.
Okay. Fine, we are done with the interaction.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kunal.
ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Kunal, this happens almost all the times that we have certain set of questions in our mind because you have presented an SOP, you have prepared some CV, and you have prepared some answers, but it's simply unpredictable what they'll be into and what lines they'll be taking you through. So it's largely, the untapped, which gets pricked up. So that's fine. You should be mentally prepared for that. Otherwise, I think that you really handled the interview well. You're quite sensible, and the natural instinct is really that of a very social person. You like to interact with people. You have a lot of stories to tell, and that was really interesting and intriguing. So I never felt dull and boring while interacting with you. So you carry a persona with you. That's really impressive. Then I like the level of confidence which you have, and the way you were, trying to dig deeper and talk about all the aspects as well. So that was impressive because at your age, getting into such dimension is rare. So you have high chances of getting selected. All right. Few inputs from my side. Always start with the most prominent thing or the most prominent, characteristic. For example, if I talk about Indore, it should not be garbage. It should have been business, education, then garbage, or probably cleanest city, aspiring towards becoming what we call that, special economic zone. Okay, so it's aspiring to become another Silicon City. We have an IT hub just ready,
Yes,
So,
I could have mentioned fast.
So always relate to the most promising aspects, especially when I'm asking about you also. All right. So things should be on the side of things which could catch the eye or an ear of the interviewer. All right. Not necessary that every time the interview will be asking you, okay, introduce yourself. It could be other way around also. Like when I was asking you about your travel experience, I was actually trying to, gauge your personality only, that how you talk about it. All right. So whatever be the question, it should somehow relate with the most positive aspects of your personality. All right.
So, adding on to ma'am's point, there were all positives what ma'am has said. So, I'm not going to repeat them. But at times there were little confusions between the conversation. Like ma'am was insisting about the book, but you understood it like ma'am is insisting on YT. तो वो थोड़ा confusion create हो गया था. Later on you ended up with clarifying the answer. But ऐसा कुछ भी लग रहा है तो just ask. कि मैम कैन यू प्लीज रिपीट मींस आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इट यू आर आस्किंग मी मोर अबाउट बुक्स और व्हाट मैम बोल रहे थे कि बुक्स अच्छा सोर्स नहीं है क्या एंड यू आर थिंकिंग कि मैम बोल रहे हैं यूट्यूब अच्छा सोर्स नहीं है तो वो थोड़ा सा मिसमैच अगर होता है तो प्लीज कैच ऑन दैट डिटेल एंड क्विकली उसको एड्रेस कर लोगे तो वो बहुत बड़ा लूप बनने से छोटे से में खत्म हो जाएगा एक चीज दूसरी चीज व्हेन इट कम्स टू XLRI इंटरव्यूज दे विल बी मोर ऑन व्हाटएवर यू हैव मेंशन्ड and whatever subjects मतलब ऐसे मत सोचना कि I have been working I have worked of 2 years or so they will go back and ask you the subject details the most selling books the authors associated with it I just talked about the most liked or the favorite subject but they can even ask you the first year subjects or the subjects the second subject you like the third subject you like that way they can go and they can ask you the chapter and when I asked you about what was taught in that subject you talked about more on the managerial operational front planning front but it could have been more technical so the technical insights were missing but they would like to listen to that कि आपका जो favorite subject है आपको 9 point मिले हैं तो वो justify करो कैसे सिर्फ रट के और वैसे नहीं
And I would never ever suggest you to talk about your preparation through YouTube at XLRI because they are very particular about academics.
yes
They have very
Most-
high standards of
academics and most prominent and promising institute one of the oldest institute so they are
They'll
very
never buy this argument that
they
I
are very particular about things the level of preparation the how you look at the world when you explain this answer that whenever you are when you want to do things quickly you can take help of the YT it showcases your it reflects your persona कि तुम शॉर्टकट्स भी अपनाते हो बट वहां पे दे वांट कि शॉर्टकट्स नहीं वो आपको आपकी
मतलब
इमेज बिल्डिंग
completely sidelining the books not even able to हाँ that was really negative
हाँ तो उस पर थोड़ा ध्यान दे के जाना नेक्स्ट चेस अगर प्रिपेयर किया हो एंड इफ यू मेंशन तो देयर माइट बी क्वेश्चंस एंड इफ यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड वेल एंड गुड and you were able to name the colleagues who were working with you in your engineering days was commendable so these are good things okay all the best hope you will convert it go more into the details and research to the code that's it
Thank you, sir.
thank you
ma'am.
thank you
All the
Kunal
best.
all the best